Hello, everyone. Hey, honey, stay. Sorry I didn't do the Donald Trump tweets last night, like I usually do. I usually do them at night and then post them right before I go to bed at around 9 p.m. But I've kind of decided that it would probably be better if I start doing it in the mornings, to be honest with you. Um, Today, I think I'm going to start doing it in the mornings, so I'm going to do it starting today in the morning time. Sorry, I still have a big issue with the whole looking at the camera compared to looking at the screen, because I always want to look at the screen because most of the time I'm doing live feeds, okay, folks? So when I do those live feeds, I'm always looking at people's, their comments and what they have to say and things like that, and responding to them and doing things that I normally do. So when I get on my YouTube, I'm kind of freaked out sometimes, and I always look at myself on the screen instead of looking up here at the camera lens. So, and yes, my fingers are dirty. Those who don't know, I'm also a botanist, so I was working with dirt this morning, so I have dirty fingers. But, not dirty fingers, just dirty nails, because I wash my hands. But, okay, so 24 hours of Donald Trump tweets, now that I've taken up, what, a minute and a half with my talking. So Donald Trump tweets last 24 hours. So we start with what he started yesterday morning. We will basically, you know how he starts in the morning and then all the way up until he goes at night. Well, I go backwards. So I start with the one that is closest to the time that he, basically the last tweet he tweeted, up to the first tweet he tweeted within the last 24 hours. So we're going to start at 19 hours, and then we're going to go to 21 hours, then 22 hours, then 23 hours, and then 24 hours. Yes, he actually put up tweets just like that. If you look at his Twitter, I'm not even kidding, it's exactly like that. So this morning we have, for 24-hour Donald Trump tweets, the first one talks about his whole Obamacare disaster, what he calls an Obamacare disaster, right? But yet he's got nothing that can take over and completely cover everybody in the United States, or better cover people in the United States, especially trans people, because any bill that he puts out is not going to, you know, give trans people surgeries, basically, if they've been, you know, fighting this for 2 years and they've been doing everything else. And with Obamacare, it actually pays for the SRX, or sexual reassignment surgery, for those of you who don't understand what that is. And the only way that the insurance covers it, Obamacare covers it, is if you have lived as a female for more than a year, you have 2 doctor's notes that say that you can be, basically that you can have the sex change, and then, or the operation, the main operation. And then also you need a, and this is Obamacare's program, okay? And you also need a psychological evaluation, basically saying that you're not crazy. And the reason why you want to have this is because you've always felt like a woman, and you've always acted and been and represented yourself as exactly that. So if you feel and live and act and walk and talk like a woman, basically Obamacare will pay for your sexual reassignment surgery. If not, Obamacare will not pay for it at all. Period. End of statement. Now, with Trump administration and the 3 bills that I've looked at that he's put out towards this, which none of them worked for, and none of them will work for any of society's children, period, end of statement, or pregnant or working mothers. So basically, his new bill is what he wanted to talk about in this little Trump tweet. And it says, Donald J. Trump, I feel sure that my friend Rand Paul, sorry, not Ron Paul, because Ron Paul, well, we all know Ron Paul is awesome. I feel sure that my friend Rand Paul will come along with a new and great healthcare program, because he knows that Obamacare is a disaster. Obamacare, I just want to explain real quick to people who do not understand. Okay, the only reason why Obamacare was a disaster is because we as Americans live in a corporate world and in a corporate entity world. Corporations own America. If you don't believe that and you don't understand that, you need to do some research, please. Because Keystone Pipeline and Energy Transfer Partners basically own every media company in America. That's right. Every media company in America is owned by pipelines or endorsed by a pipeline or fracking company, which is an industry. A what? Corporation. Right. Now we're getting it. So, to put this right, corporations live off of our American spirit and our American money and our American lives. Okay, period. End of statement. So, if it wasn't for the people, the corporations would not survive. But the problem is without the corporations, a lot of people believe that they wouldn't survive. And to be honest with you, a lot of people wouldn't survive without the corporations because they don't know how to live. They don't understand how to go out and scavenge for food, how to fight, how to hunt, how to live, how to build their own homes. People depend on American society to make them lazy in basics. So, when you get to a thing like Obamacare did not work because industrial corporatism is a huge thing here in America. We depend on our insurance companies. For what? Everything. For our lives. For our medical, for our dental, for our cars, for our trucks, for our children, for our schooling systems, for our homes. And when those insurance companies want to start taking advantage of customers who are not paying them the qualified amount that they want to make, they raise prices. That's why Obamacare is a disaster. That's why people are paying hundreds and thousands of dollars a year to have insurance. Because of the fact that insurance companies are fucking greedy. Excuse my language, but that's the truth. Insurance companies are greedy. That's why Obamacare didn't work. Plain and simple. It's that easy. So if insurance companies stopped being corporatized and greedy, we wouldn't have a problem with this. We don't even need insurance companies. Hey, we can legalize marijuana and take that money and put it toward tax reform and schools and insurance and medical and dental and everything else, just like Canada did. It's not hard. It's literally that easy. Legalize marijuana, dumbass. Anyways, so Obamacare is a disaster. That's what he says. And Rand Paul is going to come up with a new insurance, a better insurance. Okay. So, and the next one says from Donald Trump, don't let the fake news tell you that there is a big infighting in the Trump administration. We are getting along great and getting major things done. You're getting major corruption done, and there is a lot of problems in your administration. And there is infighting, as you say, in your administration. There's definitely fighting in your administration. A lot of people don't agree with you for one reason and one reason only. You run America like it's a corporation. It's not. Get over it. Plain and simple. And so we get to the point of where the fake news is saying that there's infighting throughout his administration. Well, the fake news is not just saying that. Everybody's saying that because it's the truth. I mean, look at it. Really, look at it. So, next I'm working on a new system where there will be a competition in the drug industry. Pricing for American people will come way down. Okay. And how will that work? We'll see how that works. All right, so the next one says, don't worry. Getting rid of state lines, which will promote competition will be in phase 2 of 3 of the healthcare rollout. So basically, you know how each state represents themselves as of right now? On Obamacare, each state represents themselves in an insurance entity. If you guys don't understand how this works, an insurance company in that state has to provide people in that state with some kind of insurance coverage that is covered by the people, by the tax dollars. Okay? So when there's an insurance company and people cannot pay the major corporation insurance company, they have to go to one of the Obamacare insurance company, which in Washington, it's Apple Healthcare. And you can get there's many of different insurance entities that are a part of Washington Apple Healthcare. So in Washington, I'm actually part of a healthcare system called One Health. So it's a healthcare system that basically takes care of my dental, my health, and everything else. And when I was making money, yes, they charged me for insurance. And yes, no kidding, I paid $60 a month because it was all I could pay. And that's what they do. That's how Obamacare works. Obamacare works with the money that you make. If you don't make any money, you don't pay for insurance because you don't make money to pay for insurance, but you still have insurance. Now, with Trump's way of doing it, what he wants to do is make sure that there are no longer any more state borders. So if there's no more state borders, it's going to have to be one secular insurance company running everything. Basically, he wants to make corporations richer all over again. Just a point I wanted to make. Now, the next one, which was actually minutes before the last tweet about the healthcare rollout of the system. The next one is, for 8 years, Russia ran over President Obama, got stronger and stronger, and picked off Crimea and added missiles. Weak. So basically he's saying that the reason why Russia is stronger is because President Obama let Russia run over him. No, Russia was trying to get peace talks iterated so that Russia wouldn't bomb us, so that they wouldn't go and do the things that they said that they were going to do. Basically, charge a nuclear attack on China and us. And so he fought that, and this is truth. You can look this all up, if you don't believe me. So, for 8 years, Russia ran over President Obama. No, they absolutely did not. President Obama actually stopped them from bombing us 3 different times there. Donald J. Trump, why don't you check that up? Look up all your facts before you throw them out on Twitter. Anyways, but that's why we look on Donald J. Trump's Twitter, right? Because he doesn't have all of his information and facts correct and never does. So, we have next 122 vicious prisoners released by Obama administration from Gitmo have returned to the battlefields. Just another terrible decision. And actually, I did look this up because I was interested in this. 122 prisoners were released from Gitmo, okay? But the prisoners that were released were prisoners that they found to be innocent of the charges that they were trying to put on them. Now, the whole thing is yes, there were 27 of those people were actually registered as going back to the battlefields. 27 out of 122. So get your facts straight there, Trump. And that's something that's Google worthy. Please do it because it's very interesting. And the thing is he blames Obama for a lot of things. But the whole thing is Obama was not to blame for everything. His administration actually fought for a lot of stuff that shouldn't have been fought for, and we agree with this. We all agree with this. But in the end, there was an absolute meaning to everything that he fought for. And it all had to come back on peace. So we need to look at that too. He did make a lot of mistakes. Obama made a lot of mistakes in office. I'm not condoning him. I'm not saying he's perfect. And I'm not saying he was the best president we ever had. I am saying that he kept us from being in a world war. Can we say that about Trump? We'll find out. So, he sure is acting like a dictator. And if you guys know anything about dictators back in the day, they actually used to vote in dictators so that they could basically, take everything and make society the way that it should be, or the way that it would be bettered in a form of war. So basically, I'm thinking that everybody in America at this point in time believes that America is under attack in some way, shape, or form, somehow by somebody, even though 0 Americans have died on American soil from Muslim ISIS extremists. Anyways, so we won't go there. Or not Muslim extremists, but Muslim, by Muslim people that are coming over the borders. Okay, so I guess that was it. Because we did the $20 billion investment on Exxon and all that stuff before. So the Donald J. Trump tweets this week, I actually did something a little bit different and talked about each and every one of his tweets because, it's time to start informing the people, right? 122 vicious prisoners released by Obama administration from Gitmo have returned to the battlefield. Just another terrible decision. That's one. 2 was our wonderful new healthcare bill is now out and under review and negotiation. Obamacare is a complete and total disaster. It is imploding fast. So basically he's saying that Obamacare is imploding fast. Well, it is, and we all know it is because, industrial corporatism runs America, and, without the corporations of insurance companies, all of it's falling. Next is, don't worry, getting rid of state lines, which could promote competition and will be in phase 2 of 3 of the healthcare rollout, which is crap. I am working on a new system where there will be a competition in the drug industry. Pricing for American people will come down. There's no proof on that. Don't let the fake news tell you that there is a big infighting in Trump administration, which there is. And then the next one is, I feel sure that my friend Rand Paul will come along with a new and great healthcare program because he knows that Obamacare is a disaster, which we have yet to see. I have tremendous respect for women. Oh, no. I'm sorry. That's for today. So, yeah, that's something for today. So I'll have to put that one out tomorrow. I'm sorry about the last one there. Ignore the last tweet. So our last tweet today is the one about Rand Paul. So thank you everybody for joining me today, reading Donald Trump's tweets. So this is how I usually read Donald Trump tweets. So you guys know, I usually set my phone somewhere and just start going crazy. But I usually look at Donald Trump tweets just like that on a nice television. It makes it a little bit easier for me because then I can be blind and have a reason to be blind on purpose because it's on a big TV. So thank you very much for joining me today. Happy Women's Day for everyone, International Women's Day, for all the women out there, especially to all the Muslim women. Bless your hearts, stay alive, and let them know that you remain free. Fuck them. Love you guys. Love you all. Thank you. Blessings.